Awesome. Well, welcome to Tuesday, February 16th. I hope everybody's having a great February so far. We're finally, I should say we're past the biggest engagement season of the year. Of course, the holidays and Valentine's Day ending up this past weekend. Definitely today's DJEP Live, we're going to talk about employee management inside of DJ Event Planner. Something I always want to preface and talk to you guys about as well when we do these DJEP Lives is that everything that we talk about may or may not pertain to your business. It's going to be an overall general view of these settings. And the hope is that you're going to be able to get something out of these live events. And as always, we have a lot of information to discuss and to cover. And so we're going to get through it and do as quickly as you can. If you have any questions during the event, of course, please post in the chat messages or feel free to raise your hand or whatever it may be as well. Once we're finished, we'll do a question and answer section about any part of DJ Event Planner. So we're going to jump right up into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Here we go. This here is our demo DJEP account. So you might see some things that are interesting in it. If you do, that's okay. There's unique names and things like that in here. So starting off, let's start off with the real basics and we'll get through these quickly as far as setup. In employee settings. To get to that, you're going to click on setup in the left menu and then click on application and then employee settings. These are going to be for all employees. There's a couple different places where you can do employee settings. We'll touch on that. These are employee settings again for all employees, and then each employee has their own permissions settings as well. So real quickly, we're going to jump on features. This is where you can enable certain things in the system, whether that's a confirmation event system to confirm or decline events, the time off system, check in and out, submit hourly timesheets for office workers, allow them to see their wage report, the available event system, which we'll talk a little bit about, as well as edit their own outgoing email servers. If you have a lot of employees and you have employees that are sending emails through DJ Event Planner, I think this is important as well so that they can set those up themselves instead of you having to set it up for them. And then there's additional settings off to the side regarding time off, decline events, and available event system that we'll go through in just a little bit. But going back here, and I want to touch base on a couple of these because I know I see a lot of questions lately in regards to some of these settings that have come up. Access to events is an important one. If you have an employee that can log in, or that when they log into the client portal and they're not able to see an event that they're supposed to be able to see, or they are not able to see it in their iCalendar link that you're sending them. This is one of the things that you want to check is the access based on status. You want to make sure that that status that they're supposed to be able to see is checked in this section, as well as the access based on time before events and access based on time after events. So again, if you have an employee that can't see an event that they should be able to see, this is one of the first places to start. And again, that's going to be underneath setup, application, employee settings, and access to events. The next section is the permission section. Again, this is permissions for all employees. Each individual employee has, this is to basic level employees. Let me rephrase that. So this is to all basic level employees. Salespeople and administrators will not be affected by this. And each individual basic level employee as well has their own permission settings, which we'll touch on real quickly as well. As far as this is just about what you want employees to be able to see when underneath the event details tab. So when they log into the system and they're looking at an event, can they see the client information? Can they see booking information, the venue, financials? This is a huge one with employees as well. If you want if you don't want your employees to see financials, you can uncheck that. And they won't see any financials when they log in and look at the event details. The event details view, additional items that they can or cannot see, whether it's booking comments, client notes, post-event notes, booking process dates, and then event details of other assigned employees. Can they see their names? Can they see the other employee's email address and contact information? And then on event details, can they add post-event notes? So that means can they log into the system and add a note post-event? And can they edit the booking comments in the event details? So again, this is just event details. So when an employee logs into an event, logs into their employee portal and they look at the event details, this would be the event details. Can they see the financials? What else can they see underneath there? There is additional settings as well underneath that for permissions for event planning. What are they able to view and print underneath the planning section, as well as editing. You can also limit editing to just the primary employee, or if you uncheck that, it can be all employees will be able to edit these sections, whether it's planning forms, the music manager, or the notes, client, company, visible. And those are going to be anything, again, underneath the planning section of looking at an event. So when you're on the planning form, this here, what can they do? Can they edit these forms? Can they just view them? Can they print them? And under the notes section, can they add information into client visible notes and company visible notes? And again, we're going to kind of fly through this as well, because again, I want to get through a lot of information for you guys today, as always. So if you have any questions about something or need something repeated, please feel free to post it in the chat or unmute your microphone and ask that question. The last setting underneath permissions is the employee portal. Basically, what can they see in their employee portal regarding their information? Can they view their name, their stage name, their contact info? Can they edit that information? That can be helpful if you have a lot of employees that may be updating things. So these are all things that you can decide whether they can see that or not see that inside the employee portal. And again, the employee portal is going to be when they go to an event or when they log into their employee portal. We're going to log on as Dr. Fox here. What can they do underneath their account here as far as profile? Since I just made that information visible, this employee can now see it and edit it as they need be and make those changes. That's a quick 10-second view of employee permissions so far. Any questions about the employee permissions yet, or access to events? And to answer your question, Keith, no, I did not. I just started the wrong meeting before we started here. But going back to employee settings, front page, this is what they see when they log in. If you want to have employees if you want to have a specific message with details and information, then basic level employees log in and see salespeople or administrators into the employee portal, or you can have them log into their next upcoming event or a list of all unconfirmed events. And this is helpful as well for those that are that you want to remind them that, hey, you got to check out your events that you're assigned to and confirm them if you haven't done so yet. So I definitely like the list of all unconfirmed events. And then going back here, display order. So display order, this is a display order that you see inside of DJ Event Planner. Basically, you can read the information up here. It'll tell you how to set it up and what to do. The higher number, the higher they'll display in the order. And that's when you're looking at things for drop-downs, employee drop-downs for adding an event to the system, things like that. And then system notifications. This is an important one as well, too. Again, not all of these settings are going to pertain to you guys. It all depends on how your business runs and how you work with your employees. These system notifications here are only necessary, again, if you use if you use timesheets. Again, that is for office level employees that you want them to submit hours to you that they've worked. When the employee submits a request for time off, you can set up something here as well. And when an employee sets an event confirmation or declines an event, who gets an email notification? This comes in handy if you have maybe somebody else that's running HR. You can put their email in here as well to get that. But when this happens, unless you have none typed into the email box, the master administrator is going to be the one that gets the notification. So this is only important if you have somebody else that is managing employees with you and you want them to get that notification. So, and there are some advanced notification settings you can send when they submit the confirmation. You can also send it to the assigned salesperson on that event. If you have salespeople that are confirming who's being booked and who's not, and based upon specific event dates or event types, I'm sorry. Employee notifications is another helpful one.
Hey,
this is what's that?
Do you want to interrupt? This is Jared. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
Question on that. If you if you put in an email address, say my email address, will it also go to the master administrator?
No,
which is our.
Yeah, by default, it's going to go to the master administrator unless none is typed in here.
Okay. So if I were to put my email address, I'm technically a salesperson. My partner and I are salespeople. The master is our high level account.
Mm-hmm.
Would it go to both the master and me, or just me if I type in my email?
It'd go to both.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Sorry about that. I just realized I had my headphones in, so I didn't hear you start talking. And well, we're going to change that over in my settings there, so that way I can hear you guys now in my earbuds that I had in. So yeah, that was a perfect question. So it will go to both when you set that up in there. Now the employee notifications, this is for notifying employees that they've been assigned to an event. This is very helpful if you want employees to be notified as soon as the event's added into the system and you assign the employee. It's going to be useful if you don't assign an employee till after the event is booked, because there's going to be other ways that you can notify the employees through the e-signature on the contract, etc. So this is going to be as soon as the employee is assigned to the event. What email template do you want to go out to them? Usually a employee notification, a booking type email. And you can mark the employee as notified automatically for that event. So when we go to add an event into the system or edit an event, as soon as we add an employee, if we have this email template set here to go out, it's going to notify any employees that we added to that event, no matter the status of that event, if that makes sense. So this is going to be great and helpful for those, again, that add or assign employees to events after an event is booked. If you are assigning employees before an event is booked, the best rule of thumb for notification is going to be through the e-signature contract settings with send employee or send email template to employees. And that's where you're going to want to send that employee notification of booking. But again, for anything else, this part is perfect for notifying employees, and the email template will get sent as soon as you send that or assign that employee to the event and save it. A couple other ones, options. These are just what will appear in the employee dropdowns inside of the portal as far as the type of employee options for categorizing the employee. That's going to be visible as options when you are, where is it? Employment details. So those are the categories. It's going to fill up these dropdowns with that information that you create there underneath options. So again, not everybody's going to use options. So it's on an as-need basis. If you want to classify your employees with different options, you can. And last but not least, payroll settings. This is just a matter of the sort order and display name of how they appear when you run the payroll report, and your default payroll report start date and the default end date. So when you go to run this report underneath financial payroll, you can change the default start and end date, and then how the names appear. Is it last name first name last, etc. Again, a 30,000 foot view of employee settings. Any questions about those? About this section of employee settings? Cool. Rock on. The next set where you're going to find additional employee settings are on the per employee basis. And again, we'll touch on these real briefly. The best thing to do is to look at these settings and figure out what's going to work best for your needs. Again, there's going to be 3 different levels. There's going to, when you edit an employee, you have administrator, salesperson, employee, or the 4th level of being inactive. And I'll touch on this here real quick. If you have an employee that leaves your company, I always suggest to just mark that employee inactive and don't delete them. The reason for that is that any past events that they've been assigned to, you'll still be able to see that in the system. Personally, I like to know that. So when I have a client that calls up, whether it's a repeat client, a family friend member, or somebody that says, hey, you guys did my friend's wedding, blah, 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 you can look back at that event and see what employee they had. And if it was a past employee, you can sell them on employees that match that person's style because they really like that employee. Again, that's based upon sales and doing your due diligence and research for that client. So again, I wouldn't delete an employee. I would just mark them inactive. So that way, everything that they've done in the past and the events and everything, they're still visible in the system. instead of just being a TBD or whatever. You can have it tracked to that specific employee. So the 3 different employee access levels. Administrator can do everything. There's only a few things an administrator can't do that a master admin can do. And that's going to be things like regarding automation of the scheduled actions. And there's one other that's not, data cleaner. They can't do the data cleaner or import data. So those are the 3 things that an administrator can't do, but a master administrator can. A salesperson is going to obviously be responsible for selling the event. They have different permission settings than a basic level employee. You can decide whether they can add or edit employees, and that's into the system, not to an event. Of course, they can add employees to an event. Event settings, decide what they can do there, as well as view. Access to events is very similar to the employee access to events. You could set how far after the event a salesperson can go back and edit an event. And then a few general settings. What can they see? Can they do templates? What can they create new event-based email templates? Can they edit event-based email templates that you have? If they're not assigned a salesperson, there's a few settings that you can do here as well. And again, the biggest thing is just kind of look through these settings. That's why I'm going over through them really quickly, because they're here. And again, they're not going to pertain to everybody. So you're going to want to see what works best for you. And then on the basic level employee settings, very similar, different things. What can they see and do? Can this individual person, if you have it set to hide financials for all employees, but you want this employee to see event fees and payments, you can. If you want this employee to see the view balance due, you can. So there's different things that you can do. Again, it's going to be based upon what level you want to have your employees and what level of information you want them to see inside of DJ Event Planner, and what do you want them to be able to do. So again, I encourage you to go through these. The only other couple permissions I'll touch on down here are warehouse operations manager access. If you can set a basic level employee to be able to view all events as a warehouse operations manager. So that's going to be for somebody that is going to be pulling and picking and managing equipment for events. They'll be able to access all events. To see them, they won't be able to edit them. And then webmaster access, if you give a basic level employee webmaster access, they'll be able to log in and get the code for website tools to embed them on your website. So if you have somebody that's working on your website for you, you can give them webmaster access and they'll be able to grab the codes. However, you'll need to set up those tools before they do and go grab those codes for you. But that's the individual. That's an overview of the individual employee settings. And I see that Keith has a quick question. Is there a way to have the employee confirm the booking from an email versus having them log into DJ Event Planner and confirm their availability for the event? Not at this time. They do have to log in and go to their upcoming events list and click confirm. You can send them an email of events that they need to confirm on. However, you will need to, they will have to log in and click on those. So thanks for that question, Keith. Any questions about the basic employee settings, whether it's the salesperson and administrator, the overall employee settings? I kind of touched on really, really quickly because a lot of it is just about going in and playing with it and seeing what works best for you. One other place for employee settings as well that you may see something that you need to change is here on the event form when you add an employee to the system. Underneath setup application event form is where you're going to find all of your default options and your items to select from when you add or edit an event into the system. So underneath employees, this is where you can decide on the employee check availability. Does it list it by alphabetical, display order that you set, or by category? You can set your overall maximum number of employees per event. By default, it's 15, which is the maximum. And then this is where you can set employee roles for events. So if you have different roles that you want to assign employees to, you can set those here underneath the event form. And those employee roles will appear when you go to an event and edit that event. and go to the staff tab, you can assign different employees with specific roles at that specific event. And that'll also appear wherever you'd like that information to appear if you send that through their iCalendar via an email, things like that. Let's get back real quick to some of the tools and the built-in systems inside of DJ Event Planner, the features for employees. So the confirm and decline events is available, currently turned on, and how that looks. If we have an employee, let's go to an employee inside of this demo account. I think this guy is logged into a lot. In his events upcoming, when he looks at that list, he's going to see all of his events that he's confirmed that he can confirm or decline. If you have both confirm and decline available, then obviously both buttons will be visible. If you just have one or the other available, then just that button will be visible. Once they confirm an event, they cannot unconfirm it. They have to go through you to unconfirm that event. That is there for safety purposes, because the last thing you want to do is have an employee who once confirmed an event unconfirm that event, and somehow it slips through the cracks. So they have to absolutely go through you in order to unconfirm that event or delete that confirmation. They can simply just click on that confirm button or confirm, and it'll mark the system as confirmed. The master administrator will receive a notification that the event's been confirmed, and we'll be able to view it on our report. Absolutely, Anthony. Yeah, just give me 1 second here to get back in here. Nice if I could type. There we go. And then real quick on our reports, there's a couple employee reports that we can utilize. We'll go through a couple of these, but the confirmations, we'll be able to view that event confirmation report. Right now, it's only set for a week. I don't know why. Let's jump this up here, and we'll be able to manage these from here. And we can mark events as confirmed if we need to. We can also show declined and removed events if we don't want to see those in this report. And then we report, print the report as well. So the default views setting, Anthony, that can be found underneath the setup application event form. And this is where you're going to change the default options that you see when you add an event into the system for employee roles. Is that what you're referring to, Anthony? And if you want as well, you can also unmute your microphone too. Okay, perfect. Gotcha. No worries, Anthony. And then Keith asked, how does the master admin change that for an employee if they can no longer do the event? And that's just going to be going to that. There's two ways to get to it, actually. You could do it through the employee report and confirmations, or you can navigate to that employee, Dr. Fox in this case, click on full view, click on the events tab, and we'll be able to see whether they confirmed or not. So now if they confirmed this event, let's say that he can't do it, we click on that confirm and we just click delete. Now that event is listed as not confirmed. So that's how the master administrator is going to be able to remove that. If they call you up and say, hey, I confirmed this event, I can no longer do it. You can remove that confirmation there. And then of course, go to that event and change the employee. With the confirmation as well, you can set up what happens if they decline an event. You can have the system automatically assign an employee to that position if somebody declines it. That's going to be a very rare case situation. So again, it may or may not pertain to you. An example that I could think of is if they decline an event, I would have it go to a to be determined or TBA employee to be announced. So that way you know that, hey, we need to reassign a new employee into this position. The time off system is real simple. It allows the employees to submit time off. There's some settings here that you can do with the time off request as well. You can either allow any request. You can deny it if they're assigned to an event. Deny it, so that's any event. You can deny it if they're assigned to a booked event, and you can deny it if they've already confirmed for the event. So that really depends upon how you work things with your employees. You can also allow them to delete time off, which has recently been added, because previously the master administrator had to delete the time off for the employee, but now you can check a box to allow the employee to delete that time off. So when they go to when they log into their client portal, any one of these guys, underneath the time off system, they'll be able to select a date. Whoops. There we go. For some reason, it wasn't clicking. They can collect multiple dates. Let's just say they could give a reason for why they're going to be not available. And it's going to show up as pending in the system because right now we don't have it set to automatically approve. So you can do that so that you can manually approve. Wrong. So you can manually approve their requests off. And those are going to go to your master administrator box. And you'll find them underneath employee reports again and time off. You'll also be able to find it underneath the employee when you go to view that employee, underneath full view, underneath the time off tab. And here you can either approve it, set as pending, or deny it. So if we approve it, it'll be put through. It'll give us a confirmation. You can notify that employee by email that those events have been approved. So there's quite a few different options. Again, it's going to be based upon your specific use case and need. You can edit the selected time off here, even if we've, even if we've approved it previously, we can deny it. Say if something came up, we can delete their time off. We can also check date availability, which pops up in a new window from here. And you can also edit their day of the week availability on a per employee basis. So if they're unavailable specific days, you can do that here too. So, so that's a quick overview of the time off system. I see a couple of questions coming in. Jared asked, going back to the booking notifications, when someone is added to the event, can it send an auto email only if in a booked status? I believe you said that this is for any status, cannot be changed. So at this time, it is at any point in time, no matter what the status is, Jared. If you want it to be based upon only a booked status, then that would be something where you'd want to schedule an email one day after date booked, for example, and assign that employee. So again, that's going to be all employees or all event statuses. Sorry. It's been a busy day today. My brain is kind of like all over the place. Let's see what else. So where are we at here? Time-wise, trying to keep on a time frame for you guys. Sorry. I know I talk quick because I definitely know we got a lot of information. This might be something that we'll do maybe a part 2 on and go more detailed into some of these things and some of the features. Because again, some of this is not going to pertain to everybody. Again, everybody's going to be a little bit different. Submit hourly timesheets. Again, that's going to be is for those, if you have office employees that you want to have timesheets submitted from every week. Let me see here. In fact, I should have just, give me 1 second here. I'm going to do something here to make this a little bit easier for us, which I should have thought about earlier, but I didn't because I'm silly like that. That's okay. There we go. Don't save. Really? Don't save. All right. Let's go back to Dr. Fox. So here's just an example of timesheets. They can add a new timesheet. They have to manually input the date. So let's say Tuesday, Dr. Fox was working for me from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and he was doing some office work, whatever it may be. You can let them put that in there and then submit that. And then on each employee, You'll be able to see the timesheets when you're looking at the employee. Whoops. Underneath hourly timesheets. And you can approve it. You can mark it as paid. You can edit it, or you can delete it. And when you mark it as approved, whatever you have set underneath his wages for the office-based wages, it'll list that at $20 per hour. So if I come back in here and I mark this as paid, and again, you want to make sure you read this note here. Oh, I don't want to. That's new, actually. You can tick the box to hide this notification. It doesn't add it as the expense, but it'll show it as paid on the report. You'll have to actually go to payroll in order to make sure that it's added as an expense. And I'll show you what that means. So if we mark that as paid, we go to our financial payroll, we'll see that it's listed here as paid. And then we need to calculate it real quick. We can make changes if we need to. We're going to make sure that we include this. If you had multiple days in here, we have to select include what the total is at the bottom. We can mark the payment date that we did it, what the check number was, and then mark it as paid. And now it's an expense. So I always suggest going through the payroll versus going to the employee and then the hourly timesheets and approve it there. You can also see timesheets through the employee reports and see what timesheets have been submitted. And here you can manage everybody's timesheets instead of just one employee. Again, that's going to be pretty much for just office workers that you may have. Whoops, wrong one. Other features, wage report, can they see their wages inside of DJ Event Planner? So when they log in, can they see what they're making? Give me 1 second here. Let's delete that window. There we go. When they click on their wage report, they can run their dates. So you can see that today he made, it'll show the total hours, but it's not going to show the amount. Let's go back in time on him here. So he'll be able to see if you've made things paid, you can see that they're paid. I don't know why that checkbox is there. I'll figure that one out later. And they'll be able to print that report as well. So they'll be able to see what the wages you've calculated and entered into the system. And then edit outgoing email server settings. That's pretty self-explanatory. They can edit that inside of the employee portal. In other words, add their outgoing email server or not. If you want to have control over that, simply uncheck it, but then you have to go to the email settings and add their outgoing server if you want them to send you guys send emails from within DJ Event Planner. And then the available event system. The available event system is not going to be used by everybody. If you want to mark events inside of DJ Event Planner as up for grabs, per se, and find out, let employees basically fight over what ones they're available for, which ones do they want, or you just want to know who is available for these events, you can use the available event system. And how it works, currently you can assign 3 positions as available. When you add these positions with this employee to an event, the roles that you set here will be visible as available, or you can remove the roles altogether. And what that means is if we go to an event here, I think I have this one set up, you'll see that this one has all 3 TBAs in here. It'll let you know that this position is available to employees. And then we'll see here that an employee has requested this event. So Doc Fox has requested this and what time they submitted that request. And you can there's quick buttons here to assign them to position 1, position 2, or position 3, as well as delete that request. So I'll give you an example. When an employee logs in, when you logged in, it's a different employee, but the available event system here will show whatever events you've listed as available, the client, the type of event, its current status, and the role if you set the role in there, but again, I deleted those roles. So You'll see that this one's pending a request. He can mark this as or that he requested it, and we'll get that notification inside of our master administrator email box. We can also see that underneath our employee reports of available events. Sorry. We can see what events we've marked available and what events have been requested. And we'll see that this ones have requests on it. We do have to go to that event to see who requested it. And if this is the only guy that requested it, you can go ahead and assign them to a position, and it'll add that employee to that spot.
Hey Fletcher,
Sure.
This is Jared. How do you make the position open? Does it have to be a TBA position? I guess I missed how you
Absolutely,
open it up.
So it's by what you set up here in, I'm losing my employee settings, features, available event settings. So down here, you can set up to 3 positions that can be up for grabs or available. And it's going to be based upon the employee that's assigned to that position. I don't know. Let me see if haven't played around with it with nothing in there. So let's see what happens if we put nothing in there.
Just a quick example. I mean, we use every DJ is assigned top DJ unassigned. Every event that's our default. So I could allow any of my DJs to assign themselves to that DJ as long as I put top DJ unassigned in the permissions. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, but it won't assign them themselves. They'll be able to request that event.
Request. Yes. Yep. Thank you.
And then you can assign that. And if you have multiple employees that request that event, it'll show you who requested it and when. So that way you can decide, who's going to get it. Is it first come, first serve, or is it going to be best fit, etc. And then I wanted to check this out. So if we come back in here, refresh the available events. Yeah. So if we don't have it, so it has to have an employee position in there. We learned something new together. So that's awesome. So you have to have that employee selected in that spot in order for it to be available. And again, you just do the number one. So if Jared, in your case, you can put that top DJ spot, unassigned as that, and they'll be able to log in and see what events they can select from.
We have the same thing for photo booths. If it's photo booth attendant unassigned, and that's probably more likely. I could just have any photo booth attendant just say, hey, I want to work that event.
Yep. Absolutely. And that's where it's been extremely helpful. On the DJ side, it's not as often, but on the photo booth side, for sure, it gets used quite a bit. So, okay, I was just looking through the chat to make sure I was caught up and there wasn't any questions, but Keith is looking for gigs. I don't know if you can DJ across the country line there, Keith. I've done only one international event myself, and it was not worth it. Not with going across borders and stuff. But anyway, time-wise, where are we at? So we got through available events. I wasn't sure I'd be able to get through that. So the other one that I really wanted to touch on as well is some of the automation and ability to communicate with your employees. The one we already kind of covered, which is the employee notification. That's one way of letting them know that they're booked. Again, that's going to happen for any time you assign an employee to an event. Doesn't matter the status. The other way that I personally will notify, that I like to notify employees, is underneath the e-signature settings. As soon as I get any email or document to open up. Down here, if you assign an employee before the event is booked or before the contract is assigned, in other words, the client is booking in a specific employee, here's where I'll notify the employee, send email to assign employees. There's also other spots. Again, I don't want to get too deep into some of them, but you can also run a booking helper. If you don't want the employee to be notified until the contract signed and the first payment is made, you can run a booking helper after the first initial payment to notify the employee as well, or just use a booking helper to notify the employee. And then from there, the other automation spot is talking about email templates. If you guys haven't played around with these yet, there's a couple different ways to send notifications to employees. And we kind of, I can't remember if we've talked about this or not before, but these two types of templates, there's event-based, which is based upon any single event. So it's just one event, or employee-based, which are based upon all events for employees. So we'll touch on the events-based first. This is great if you want to send a reminder to automatically send a reminder to an employee about a specific event. Base it upon the event status, event type, and of course you can select primary employee or all assigned employees. And you can also send out an automatic reminder to employees that have not confirmed for this specific event. So this is a great one. Maybe, send out an email 30 days in front of the event date to employees that have not confirmed. And you can include an email template. Hey, you've not confirmed for this email, or the content would be, you've not confirmed for this event yet. Please log into your portal and confirm if you have whatever the other content may be with that email. Underneath the employee based, I like this one a lot, but there are some things that you got to get used to. So there's some merge tag specific just for this. And these are some of the merge tags that you can include. One of them is, there's one, we'll just click down here. So upcoming time off, I'll usually send that out to employees once a month of, hey, here's your upcoming time off. Please make sure it's correct. Upcoming event list. This is important. Of course, you can give them details of their upcoming events or just a reminder with which other information. You can also send this one here with the confirmation status, one of these two. So you can include that, and also, include below as a list of your upcoming events. Please confirm events that are not confirmed yet. And then upcoming available event list, you can send this out as well to the employees. So this is how you're going to get that out to those photo booth guys or the employees that you have that spot for. You'll put that merge tag into the body, and then you can schedule it whatever works best for you in this instance. So you can schedule employee emails to go out a specific day of the week. So if you wanted to go out Monday, if it was something you want to go out the top of the week, day of the month, or a specific day of the year, or a specific date, which I'm not sure why, but anyway, that one I've never used a specific date for, but I'm sure there is some use for it somewhere. You can also decide who it goes to. Is it only going to all of active employees? Is it only going to specific employees? And then upcoming events, only if they have booked events in the next X number of days. So if it was a weekly email, then you'd put it, only in the next 7 or 8 days, depending upon what day of the week it goes out. Next 30 days is useful as well too. I like that. So that way, if I have an employee that's not booked for that month, they don't get a reminder that they're not booked. They won't get an email that says, here's your upcoming list of events, and there's nothing. So we'll include that for there. Now on this, I do want to touch on, you do want to be careful on, if you have hundreds of employees, you'll actually want to create a couple of these and stagger them. So if you're sending out like a monthly email, you'll want to select some employees to go out on the first, some employees to go out on the second, some employees to go out on the third. And the reason for that being, again, if you have hundreds of employees, it's going to take a while, to send those all out via schedule, even though the system can do it very, very quickly. But it's also going to help to prevent email addresses or IP addresses being listed as spam. Because that was a big question lately, as far as, how can I send all these emails to employees? If you're going to do the available upcoming events or the monthly reminder of your time off, I would, again, select one to go out on the first of the month, then select one to go out on the second of the month, and then select one to go out on the third of the month, and just break up your employees between those 3 days, if that makes sense. Again, that's only if you have hundreds of employees, which I know some of our users do have. So awesome. That's pretty much, again, 30,000 foot view that I had of employee management inside of DJ Event Planner. Any questions that you guys have that we have not talked about yet, or that I've not covered, or maybe I went too quickly over, that you want to recover?
Hey, Fletcher, it's Jared again. I actually have a question.
Sure, Jared.
If you don't mind another one. So I was talking to another DJ yesterday. We were talking about some ideas in Event Planner. And he's really interested in the employee check-in, check-out feature. It's
okay. Oh, that's right.
And it's pretty cool because it actually has a geotag location.
Yep.
Is there any way to not have that buried, like move it to the employee's front page, or do you have to go into the event to do it?
You have to go into the event to do it in order for it to track. It'd probably be a good request for the wish list to see if it could be moved up, because I'll agree that it does take some digging to, check in and check out. But that's definitely something I would add to the wish list for sure on the support forum to see if that can be made easier to access.
Cool. Thank you.
No problems. You're welcome. Yeah, that's the one feature I didn't touch on. Apologies for that, because I usually don't use a check-in, check-out system a whole lot myself. But yeah, the check-in, check-out system that Jared was asking about, for those of you that have not seen it, is found underneath features. And it's a check-in, check-out system. When employees are logged into their event, I don't think we're going to be able to see it because I don't have any events on this employee today. There'll be a check-in and a check-out option that'll appear when they log in and go to that event. And again, that's a great way for us to know as company owners that people are doing what they're supposed to be, that they're where they're supposed to be, etc.
Hey, Fletcher, this
Sure.
is Ben here.
Sure.
Chris, we have several employees that are at, like, they each have their own specific package rates from the client-facing perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so when somebody books, like DJ Mike, for example, they know that that's at Mike's rate. There's another option where it's like, just book a full-time DJ, and then we'd like to basically put something in place where then the other DJs can bid on it, but with the understanding that they would be doing so at the full-time rate, not their own personalized, you requested specifically rate. Is that something that I can marry to the event availability feature when somebody bids on something, or is that mostly just something that we should say to the employees, like, hey, by the way, for things that you're bidding on, the rate is this standardized one, not your specific one?
Yeah, I would send that to the employees so that they know. And how you would set that up, obviously, is underneath your package that you assign to that event that are going to be available. And make sure that it's a flat rate package and that all employees receive this wage, and set the package specific wage here. If you're going to do that. So that way, and you're going to want to obviously let them know. Currently, there's no way for them to identify what the going pay is for that event, I guess, through the available event system. So.
Okay. But are they able to, this may have been in the employee permissions, are they able to see what that wage is? Like, could I assign, for example, so that when they are assigned for event, are they able to see what their own wage is for specific events?
So when they're assigned, yes, as long as you set that up again underneath permissions that they can see their wage. Whoops. Where is it? Any client resources staff. I can't read today. I don't even know where it's at myself. Their wage right here. So you'll be able to see, as long as you have that checked, they'll be able to see the wage that they are setting there. For the available event system, they won't be able to see the wage until they're assigned to that event. So.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Fletcher.
You're welcome. Let's see, reading up through some of these questions as well. Oh, Isaac, that's actually already capable. And we haven't really talked about that yet, but we can go over that. We'll come back to that in a minute. Isaac is asking in regards to planning only clients, basically. Let me check to see. And then Anthony asked here, if you guys can't see the chat, as a master admin, does all the events you assign yourself to run the same as an employee, or would I need to add myself as an employee to be available? Actually, yeah, by default, when you create an account with DJ Event Planner, there's going to be the master administrator. The master administrator cannot be assigned to an event. There's just the overall master administrator. So when you sign up, the administrators, you're going to have an employee administrator account as well. And that's going to be the account that is assigned to those events. So that'll automatically be assigned. You can email that employee, et cetera, use the email scheduling for reminders, et cetera. And you'll use that administrator account to assign yourself to events. So again, as soon as you create your account, there's the master administrator, and then there's an employee administrator account that you'll have. And you'll see that differentiation when you look at things like email settings. You'll see that there's master administrator, and then there's John Smith, who's technically the master administrator, but in this demo account, a lot of times it'll be the same person. So that's your employee account that you can use to assign to events. And that works as well too. You can do that as well and use different email addresses for each other. So perfect. And then going back to the planning only clients real quick, we'll touch on that. For those of you not familiar how to assign a planning only client. So this is great if you have a venue or a planner or somebody else that's booking you and paying you. But the client is the one that's using you for their event and they need to do planning with you. So if you have that situation, we're going to go back to this event here. We'll say that Thomas Brady here, Test Football Wedding, he's a wedding planner and he booked us for his clients who are planning their wedding with him. So when you click on the planning tab, down here on the bottom right corner is planning only access, and you can add a planning only client. You can use an existing client or you can create a new client from here. We're just going to select an existing client right here. Let's just select Billie Jean because that sounds nice. So now Billie Jean has their own account. They have their own client ID. They also have their own client portal details, login details. So when they log into this event and they go to my events, we'll see that this test football one here is upcoming. We don't have an event details button because they're a planning only client. So they won't be able to see any financial information. They'll only be able to go in and plan whatever you set up for them to be able to plan. And as well, as far as email reminders, you can, if you work with planning only clients, you can also set up emails to go specifically to those planning only clients regarding events. Any other questions? Because we kind of reaching our time pretty quick. I know I talk a lot, full a lot of hot air as well sometimes, but I think that's a lot of us DJs. We talk a lot sometimes too. But any questions about employee management or anything regarding DJ Event Planner that can answer for you guys? Well, I got you here. Oh, I almost forgot. There is a poll. I'll launch the poll real quick. If you guys have a second, feel free to answer that. As well as if there's things that you want to see in future DJEP live videos or something we want to discuss about, feel free to post them in the message box. You can post them even on Facebook if you like in response to in the comments of the DJEP lives. The DJEP live recordings will be available typically the day after. We'll post it on YouTube and I'll post a link to it in the users portal as well as on the DJ Event Planner page. And then there's the poll. Sorry, I forgot to click the launch button. Apparently I'm having technical issues this morning. Must be too much snow this morning, but any other questions that you guys may have? None? It's okay. Are events starting to pick up in your guys' areas? How about that? I have a question for you guys. Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely a really interesting time that we're in.
I'm in California and I have 13 events booked for this year already.
Gotcha. That's not bad, I guess, depending on what you normally do.
Last year was about 4, so year before was 18. Now it's just starting to pick up as wedding DJ.
Gotcha. Oh, you're up 300% from last year, so that's good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Who's that?
This is Victor.
Oh, hey, Victor.
Yeah. And the New Jersey, New York area is it's picking up pretty fast too as well.
Is it? Gotcha. Cool. That's good to hear. I'm hoping by summertime, everything's back in full swing. I know personally myself, I didn't even DJ last year, so everything got rescheduled. So I haven't DJed since December of 2019 for a holiday party. So that'll be fun stuff. It's just like riding a bike, but and that's the other thing too. If you guys aren't practicing, always practice. Practice makes perfect. Even if you're not doing an event, it never hurts to touch your board, play with your system, set it up, make sure you still know how to set it up and everything works. Is always a huge tip. But East Coast Canada looks like they'll be busy in July. Quarter events. Good. That's great. That's great to hear. I think as we get more of the vaccine out there and hopefully nothing else goes astray with anything that's going on, we should be good and things will be back up in full swing. I'll be honest with you. I miss the conventions that we go to. That's definitely something.
That was my hardest part of doing my taxes, is when I didn't have a write-off for any travel.
Yes. Taxes was huge. That was, man, like I think I haven't finished my taxes yet, but I think I might actually owe for the first time in a very long time because my write-off's not as big.
Right.
I didn't use my car for business purposes this year. I didn't, I didn't travel anywhere. So fun stuff. Oh, well. Well, hopefully things are going to get better. Our next DJEP live will be in March, third Tuesday. We always plan for the third Tuesday of the month. If something changes, it'll be posted, of course, in the users group on Facebook. So if you are not in the users group, well, I'm assuming all of you are because you're here. If you know somebody that's not in the users group or that should be attending these, feel free to share that and pass it along with them. Looks like we might cover SMS messaging next month. So that'll be fun. As well, again, if you have any questions about this, of course, in your accounts themselves, you can find support on live chat underneath support options. That's available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. Of course, the support forum. If you haven't posted on the support forum before, that's definitely a great place to get information and help. As well, if you come across a bug or, again, the wish list item, if there's something you wish the software would do that it currently doesn't do. The developers are very, very active on the support forum. And then, of course, just the Facebook users group and YouTube. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. So when we launch new videos, you'll be able to get notified when they're launched. But with that said, I think we're going to wrap it up. One last call. Any other questions from anybody? No? All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to your day doing what you're doing. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you guys took something away from it. Again, I know I covered a ton of information. As we get further down the road and we release further education videos, we'll nail down and be more specific on each one of those topics within employee management as well. Just to expand upon it, we can expand on it further as well. So again, thanks guys for attending. If you have any questions, of course, hit us up on the support forum or live chat. But awesome. Thanks guys, and have a great rest of the Tuesday. Bye guys.